Oh, it is so strong. What is this again? What kind of tea is this again? It's tamong something? Tamong?
Honey, black tea. So we say 차허블.
허블. Why? Just say tamong black tea.
I don't know.
Hello. Welcome back to another episode of A Glass with Billy. I have a special guest, and that is...
Mijie.
You might have seen her before. In fact, she's an OG YouTuber like myself. Recently, you're doing an online course.
Yes, it's MijieTeachesKorean.com. And I started my online course, and it's for the beginner or upper beginner learners. So basically, we're meeting once a week, and I teach them how to build the sentences or the tricky grammars and etc. So please check it out.
So, what we're going to be talking about today is filler words.
Yeah, filler words.
So what is a filler word then?
So it's like the words that you can fill the space. So in Korean, it's like basically or and so on. There are many words. Yeah.
But in Korean, there are a lot of words that you can use to fill space in a conversation that don't really have a lot of meaning, but help the conversation to move along. So today we're going to be sharing some of the most common ones, but also a few of them that you may not have known, and share some tips for how to use them more effectively, because filler words are a very easy way for me as a Korean teacher to tell someone's Korean level. So I'm going to give you some tips to avoid my non-native speaker radar. So,
what's that? Okay.
The first thing I wanted to talk about is you mentioned two filler words, and all. When do you use these words in Korean?
Well, basically, when you are thinking something, some idea.
You're trying to come up with an idea.
Yeah. In that situation, you say or
So I want you to say a sentence to me and add in or all.
언제 밥 먹었어요?
Okay. You said it at the beginning.
Right.
Give me a different sentence where you say it in the middle or...
In the middle.
Yeah.
I can stop using this. 오늘 계획이 있어요?
Okay.
That's awkward.
It sounds awkward, right?
Yeah.
Koreans do say and all when they're thinking. Just like in English, we might say or but they are not going to use these words multiple times in the same sentence, in the middle of the sentence, like we do in English, but you might hear it at the beginning or at the beginning of a thought. So maybe you're saying 오늘 뭐 짜장면 먹으러 갈까요? But you're not going to hear it like 짜장면 먹으러 갈까요? You won't.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
But it's really awkward in Korean. So that's something I hear non-native Korean speakers. They'll insert and all in their sentences a lot, like they do in English when they speak Korean. So that tells me, they're not a native Korean speaker.
Oh.
What's another way, though, that you could tell the listener that you're thinking?
That would be 그 or
okay.
저.
Alternatively, you could just say 글쎄.
글쎄요.
I don't know if it's really a filler word, but it's kind of like, I don't know. Let me think about it. So yeah, if you really want to convey your thinking, you can use 글쎄요. Otherwise, all, 그, 저, all of those.
Or you can just combine them, like 글쎄요.
What's the difference then between saying and all, or like 그 and 저?
I think the context where you use the 그 or 저 is like when something is right on the tip of your tongue. In that situation, I would say 그
right.
뭐더라? Like,
yeah. And then and all is just like you're thinking.
Yeah, basically you're just thinking, that's all.
Okay, so then can you think of any other really common, like short filler words?
So my favorite filler
You have a favorite filler word?
Yeah, it's 뭐. Like,
what?
This is almost my habit. I'm always like, 아니 뭐, 근데 뭐, 아니 뭐, 그래가지고 뭐.
I can't really think of a good way that you translate it.
Like, whenever like somebody asks something to me, I'm always like 아니 뭐, and then I'm like earning
and then you're
my
thinking
time
what to say.
to think about it.
Okay, I think while thinking about this, I think I figured out what it means.
Okay.
뭐라고 해야지? 뭐라고
Ah.
말해야 되지?
That's right.
It's kind of like that, right?
Yeah.
Letting them know you're thinking about something and you're going to say something, but you don't know what to say yet.
And as for this mo, I think you can just insert this between the sentences. For example, you can say like 서울역에서는 뭐 천천히 가고 뭐 and so on.
Okay. If you speak like with lots of mo,
Yeah.
it sounds very timid.
Oh.
Like, maybe, I guess maybe like we can go hang out, or maybe it sounds like you're not really confident.
Oh, I didn't know that.
A little
Yeah.
bit to me.
Oh.
The feeling of that. So just,
Yeah, just-
don't overuse it.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a few others that are kind of like mo. They don't really have a literal meaning, but they do add a feeling to the sentence. And the next one is 막.
막.
What is 막?
막 is like you're doing something carelessly.
Okay.
Just 막.
It's like, wow, whatever.
막. 막 먹어?
You're just like scarfing it?
Yeah. Or 막. 기억이 안 나. I can think of any good examples. Oh, 막 던져. Like
Yeah, just like you just throw something really,
Yeah, or
like you don't
막.
care where it goes. But it is used in that same way also as a filler word to mean like. Yeah.
But it sounds very casual.
This one is very slang sounding.
Right. Especially when you are at the office and when you're talking to the superior or something,
Yeah.
or someone who is at a higher social rank.
Yeah.
And if you go with the 막,
Yeah.
then you sound like very unprofessional also.
Yeah.
Like 그냥 막 and blah blah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
That's right.
if an old man asks me how do I go to this bus station? I mean, 저기 막 그 오른쪽으로 가가지고 막.
그 버스 타가지고 막. That's
It's like,
rude.
dude, just go there and then you totally go right. I don't know. Maybe
yeah, that
they
sounds
would.
really weird.
All right, the next filler that I want to talk about is actually, I think you can do it better than me.
This sound.
Okay. How long do you do it? Can you do
No.
so an appropriate length? And what is this one?
It's like you're using this when you are thinking something hard. But in this situation, you're being more like skeptical. And when you want to say no indirectly, then you say also
Oh, okay,
you're touching
yeah.
your chin and
Like, why don't Koreans just say no?
I don't think so. That's just a culture difference.
Yeah. Another thing that's kind of related to that is stretching out your sounds. Do you know what I'm talking about? So like sometimes people might do this for like 그, 저.
Yeah, that happens to me a lot.
Okay, what are some common words that you might use this with? Like, can I use it for like 자몽, honey,
No, that's
black
not gonna
tea?
work.
No?
Yeah,
No?
그 or oh.
Okay.
Yeah. Any filler words?
Any filler words? What about like 막?
막. No, as for 막,
Maybe
we
not.
just say in a
막.
short syllable.
Okay.
막.
What about the other one? 모.
More, yeah.
Okay.
You can extend the sound.
Okay, so
more.
certain words you can and certain ones you can't. So be careful where you do this. I might just memorize a few of the ones you see or hear and not try to extend other sounds, because if you say like, oh, we're filming with a camera, it just sounds really weird.
Yeah.
And then that brings me to the next one I wanted to talk about, and that's 그냥. What is 그냥?
그냥 means just.
Just.
그냥.
Yeah, this one
Like-
is just literally just.
Yeah, but it can also be used as a filler word, and I think younger generation often abbreviate it into kang sometimes.
Kyang,
Yeah,
yeah.
in spoken Korean. Yeah, kang 지내, kang 뭐.
But then, yeah, for filler words, this word means like. So you can
like.
just throw it in like 뭐 그냥 그리고 뭐 그냥.
뭐 그냥.
This one might be a bit hard to overuse because it has that literal meaning of just. So if they hear it, they might think sometimes it's a filler or sometimes it sounds like the
Right, that's
actual
right.
meaning. So I think it doesn't sound like a filler.
Yeah, it's working in the two different ways.
Also, I should say 그냥 is not really like slang.
I don't think it's as slang as 막.
Okay.
You can just use it to the professor, for example.
I mean, you probably wouldn't use it if you're giving a speech.
Yeah, when you are giving a presentation.
You wouldn't say, 이거는 그냥.
이거는 그냥 out.
Yeah.
That sounds not
don't use it in,
professional. Yeah.
as long as it's not a formal situation, you're okay.
Right.
The
그냥.
next one though, actually the next one I have is actually several words. 진짜.
진짜.
정말,
정말,
굉장히,
굉장히,
되게.
되게.
But these are all a little bit different. These are all used just to add emphasis to what you're saying. And you can use these to either emphasize a verb, so you can say like 진짜 and then any sort of verb, or you can use them at the beginning of a sentence, like right before a phrase, if you want to emphasize that whole sentence. So
That's
you can
right.
say like 진짜 something 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 something, that's okay, or something something 진짜 verb. That's how it's used. So how are these words different?
Okay, so I'm handling the most difficult part.
Oh, yeah,
so, 진짜 means really, but sometimes it can mean the genuine thing, right?
If you use it like that though, it's not even slang. So
yeah.
like you can say 진짜 진짜
뭐-
금이에요. It's real
right.
gold or something.
Yeah. And I think 정말 means like really or like for real.
But 정말 isn't used for like the real thing. Like you wouldn't say
정말금. That's
no. And then 진짜 and 정말, what's the main difference between those?
Maybe 정말
Okay.
sounds polite.
Yeah. 정말 is a little bit more polite and 진짜 is a little bit more
정말, yeah.
casual.
Yeah. I can tell. Yeah.
What about 굉장히?
굉장히 means extremely, and it sounds a bit like written Korean.
Fancy sounding?
Yeah, but it's okay to use it in a spoken Korean. Yeah, 되게 means very or really, and it sounds a bit like slang way. 되게.
Sounds like slang?
Yeah,
Okay.
but like casual way. Like if you watch the celebrities interview, they would use this 되게 a lot.
되게 is like the most common one that I hear.
되게 막. They even
되게
combine
막.
with
Yeah.
the 되게 막.
Okay, so 되게 would be more slang than any of the others.
Casual, yeah.
Do you use this word? Do you use 되게 often? I use it all the time.
Yeah, I use it all
Yeah.
the time. Yeah, if you use 되게 frequently, you sound more like native Korean.
And then anything else about these words?
They are used together.
Like what do you mean?
Like my favorite combination is like 진짜 되게.
진짜 되게?
Yeah. Or,
진짜 되게.
되게 정말.
되게
yeah.
정말. Yeah, that one I hear a lot.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you can even mix them up.
Can you use all of them together at the same time? Is it possible to use like 진짜 정말 굉장히 되게
Oh, but that sounds natural. 진짜. You're saying basically nothing, but.
Yeah.
진짜 정말 굉장히 되게.
Yeah, it doesn't sound too bad. Yeah, it sounds okay. Okay,
So see, this is the tip.
on the other side of that, though, is words that don't mean a lot or very, but words that mean somewhat. And there are a few of these, but I just picked out one that I hear a lot, and that's 약간.
약간.
So what is 약간?
It means like little bit.
So then, what's the difference then between using 약간, which means like a little bit or somewhat, or using 조금, which means a little bit or somewhat?
Okay, so in conversation, when you wanna downplay the meaning, you use 약간, I would say.
Yeah, that's true. You don't
yeah.
use 조금 to make what you're
we
saying
never
like
use
less
조금.
important. 약간. Like,
약간. Yeah.
all right. Okay, next one. So 이제.
Yeah,
So,
이제.
okay, so 이제 is not. It's not a filler word, but it's used like a filler word.
These
I
days
guess.
it is used a lot.
These days it's used a lot like a
이제.
filler word.
Like 이제.
이제.
그래서 이제.
So what is 이제 then?
It means like now. That's the literal meaning.
Now.
It's more like so now. Or you're
okay.
more converting the topic.
So kind of like a transition word. And also 인제, I guess, same
이제.
thing.
In the beginning of a sentence, you can even say 근데 이제.
근데. We'll talk about that one in a second.
Yeah.
And the next one, I kind of mentioned it, but that's 조금, but also 좀. And these both mean a little. So I can say like 한국어를 조금 해요 or 한국어를 좀 해요.
해요.
These are also used as filler words. So how do they change meaning when they're used as a filler?
Like if you're using them, you're softening the tone. Yeah, you're saying indirect way.
Okay,
yeah.
so you're making what you're saying softer.
softer.
All right.
I think 조금 sounds a bit polite than 좀.
좀, okay. But neither of them is slang. So
It's okay.
can you think of any other filler words then that they should know about?
Okay, so this is the most native things I would say.
Okay, so now for the most native one.
Yeah. So there are even certain like predetermined phrases that are used as a filler words. My favorite one is like 다른 게 아니라.
Ah, yeah.
You've heard that a
Of
lot,
course,
right?
I hear that, yeah. Or on the telephone, 다름이 아니라.
Yeah, 다름이 아니라
Or 다른 게 아니라.
Yeah.
That's usually how you start a phone call with someone when you want to say like, hey, I just called because,
Yeah,
like, oh, hey, yeah, just calling. Like, I don't even know what it means in English.
Yeah, the reason why I'm contacting you.
Yeah, it sounds like a soft way of saying I'm going to ask you for something.
Yeah, that kind of phrases can be used. 다름이 아니라 or 다른 게 아니라.
You use them in also regular conversations when you're talking with people?
But mostly to the older people or in a business conversation.
Okay, so it's a little bit more of a polite expression. All right.
Right.
Any other ones?
The other one is 뭐라 그래야 되나?
뭐라 그래야 되나?
Yeah, but it sounds very casual.
뭐라 그래야 되나?
But you know, the funny thing is, like, I've often discovered native Korean saying this 뭐라 그래야 되나 in the middle of like presentation. When
Really?
you're not really ready and they are so nervous, and then they even talking to themselves like, ah, 뭐라 그래야 되나, and then
So they're giving a formal presentation or
Yes.
like a presentation at school and they're suddenly like, oh dang, what do I say?
yeah.
Okay.
뭐라 그래야 되나?
There's one more, actually, I see it on your paper, so I'm
Okay.
going to steal it.
Oh,
있잖아요.
있잖아.
있잖아요. So you have 있잖아 왜?
있잖아 왜?
있잖아 왜?
있잖아 왜?
So you know like how,
Or, you know,
when would you use that one?
when you bring up something new, you can say like, 있잖아 왜? and then
And you've said nothing at all.
Yeah, you're just
있잖아 그
Drawing
왜?
attention.
그 다름이 아니라 뭐라 그래야 되나?
what?
그 되게 그 많이 진짜 많이 그 좀 막
But yours sound very
It sounds, yeah,
natural.
sure, it sounds natural, but they're going to be really frustrated.
Yeah.
There are a lot of these phrases that don't really have a lot of meaning, but they're just kind of used like fillers like this.
Yeah.
We won't go over all of them, but if you could quickly just go over a few more, and I'll put them on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah. So there are 있잖아 왜? 다른 게 아니라 뭐라 그래야 되나? We covered this.
Okay.
아니 뭐?
So animo is like,
아니 뭐? Like, I think you're using this when you start a conversation or denying something.
Denying something?
Just every situation. Like,
Okay.
아니 뭐? And then you're expressing
So-
your opinion.
like, all right. And then 아니 그냥 어차피. So that would be like, no, like, anyway. Okay.
So basically, you're meaning anyway.
Okay, and you can just use these as they are. Just stick them at the beginning of your sentence to sound more native.
Yeah.
But can you say ani at the beginning of a sentence that's still polite?
Yeah, it sounds a casual sentence.
Okay. All right. Any others?
And then when you wanna shifting the topic, you
Okay.
can say 아니 근데,
Okay.
and then also 그건 그렇고.
So what's that?
As for that, that
Okay.
is what it is.
Okay, so that's that.
That's that. And when you wanna interrupt the other person conversation, you can say 아니 근데, and then blah blah.
So that's most of these. I guess I want to give some advice for using filler words. Using the same ones over and over and over and over in a conversation, it sounds less native, it sounds less natural. Like 이제 every sentence. Like you don't want to go to the McDonald's cashier and be like, 약간 이제 그 막 좀 저 그냥 그 치즈버거 하나 주세요. It's like
That's funny, yeah.
so just don't overuse filler words. Whatever you're using, just use them sparingly. You know, throw a filler word at the beginning of your sentence and you're good. Now your sentence is going to sound more natural.
Right. When you need to speak something directly, then that's weird.
Something I noticed that Koreans do that we don't do in America is when we're thinking, we always have to fill the space. Like or anything. In Koreans though, what I notice is they'll say something and while they're thinking, they'll just leave a few seconds of silence.
That's right, yeah.
So when you're thinking about something in the middle of a sentence, you don't have to say like to show that you're thinking. You can just be quiet and think, unless you need to convey to the other person like, hey, I am thinking, give me a second. You don't need to say anything in that. And then these, of course, are not every filler words. Are there any other filler words you can think of that we missed in the lesson? Let me know in the comments below. Maybe we missed some.
Yeah, please let us know.
Thank you for watching, and special thanks to our guest.
Ta-da, Minji!
Make sure also to check out her website, minjiteacheskorean.com.
Yes.
You have courses there. You have your classes there.
Yes.
Yeah, and also check out her YouTube channel as well. I'll have links to all of those those in the description box below. And I will see you again in another episode. 그럼 다음에 또 봐.
또 봐!